You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. What the hell is up with Nick Pagliochini?
How you doing?
I
gotta say, now not to interrupt you and not to do a promo for you, but if you have not caught Later with Mo Kelly tonight, you need to catch the podcast because it had just been good from open 7 till 9, and hopefully I can keep the energy going for you.
Where can they find the show?
It can be at on the iHeartRadio app.
That's
24/7. My favorite that you can always see me posting is KFI AM640.com/listen. So if you happen to be online, you can also catch it in your car, KFI AM640, and anywhere that you get your podcasts, any platform that you're looking for. Yep. So, but I had a late night last night. That's where I'm going to take us first.
Okay.
So, the focus for today is going to be trying to, as the weather is turning, getting us out and about a little bit more. Not to steal that title from somebody else here on KFI that works the morning hour. But anyway, last night I was out super, super late. And it's because, are you familiar with the Grunion? Do you know?
The Grunion Run?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's the first one of the year.
Did it as a kid.
Yeah. So I was going to say, you got to go out and do it again. If you've never done it before, Cabrillo State Beach. Near like in the South Bay, LA Harbor is an easy one. I've done it there. They also have it in Long Beach.
That's where we went. Actually, it was Cabrillo Beach,
and it's the easiest one. And it's specifically because, California Department of Fish and Wildlife are always out there to make sure that everything is going smoothly with it. So it was there last night, until this early morning. And that was the first run. So it started on the 14th and it went through last night into this morning. And so the next one is coming up Saturday the 29th. So not to steal Nautica's, weekend idea, but for the final weekend of the month, Saturday and Sunday, you'll be able to catch it for that if you're looking to get out and about. So pretty much Grunion are and it kind of doesn't go with the OnlyFans story we had earlier on, but the reason that they are coming and the Grunion are running are fish that spawn in the sand in the shallow waters of the coastal areas here of Southern California. So you're literally, Sam's not there. I was going to say, let's get it on. Oh, you are there. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. But I was like, this is like definitely very white music style. So because the thing is it has to be late at night when they're out there running up onto the beach and they're spawning. Right. There you go. So, it's a really good time. If you've never experienced before, it is definitely one of those quintessential coastal Southern California things. A lot of schools back in the day used to. There we go. Thank you. There we go, Sam.
My first, my last, my everything.
There you go. But this is something that I would highly recommend. You can get details about it at Nick Pagliochini or This Week with Nick on Instagram. The link in bio has more details for you there. But so you've done the Grunion Run. It's been a few years, but you can. It's a very interesting and unique experience.
Oh, it is that. I didn't really fully process it as a child.
Right. Same.
It was a school field trip. So,
yes. And the thing is, what's odd is you actually can catch them with your bare hands, and they can be consumed. Although I'm not. No, yeah. I'm a huge seafood person. This is probably not the one, especially because
it's too close to sardines for me.
And not just anchovies. That, but if they're getting it on out there,
they are.
I don't want to interrupt their spawning rituals. So, but that is something. But if you're looking to do something still in the South Bay, and this is from my favorite botanic garden here in Southern California, the South Coast Botanic Garden, which has a unique story. We've talked about it here on Later with Mo Kelly. It was a trash site in the South Bay originally, and it has since become a botanic garden. And it's they did the really cool during the pandemic. They had the disco, with Chic. They did a whole outdoor disco, socially distanced thing that was incredible. They had the trolls, which I talked about, several stories tall trolls. And what they've got coming up this weekend is going to be a celebration of everything agave. So even though I don't drink anymore, agave is a delicious sweet nectar that can eventually become tequila. So that is something to check out. That's in the South Bay. It's really, really inexpensive. It's $15 for the general public, or if you're looking for a little bit more of a tipsy experience, VIP tickets are $37. And if you're a member, which I am, it's free general admission or $20 for VIP admission for that. So the thing is, we've got so much in our own backyard. And as I said, as the weather is turning to be a little bit more hospitable, still a little chilly, a little bit of rain here and there, a little windy.
Yeah,
been real windy
in the car. Yeah.
But it's time to get back out and about, and that's kind of my thing. I mean, I went to Mammoth to do snowboarding. They just had another dump of snow in Mammoth. Wish I could go this weekend.
But you went since the last time you got snowed in?
No, that was the last time. Okay. And I wish I could go this weekend because they literally just had this huge dump when we just had the rain here. I forget how many inches or feet at that point, but it just, and that's, that I wish translated to our closer mountains a little bit better. We still have some snow in Wrightwood. We still have some snow in the San Bernardino Mountains over in Big Bear and Arrowhead and all that. So, but that's a little bit less. I mean, you can definitely still, they're grooming the mountains so you can still go skiing and snowboarding and everything else. But if you want like insanity, 6 hours north up to Mammoth, I mean, that's it. Just like we talked about getting snowed in. And that's not the first time I've been snowed in. And last time it happened a few years back, I wasn't even able to make it back for the show. So there's that. Also, something that I've talked about before, but I love to always push it, is the National History Museum in Exposition Park. So deep in the heart of LA, it is this weekend actually coming back. And if you happen to be a member there, you've got a preview coming up, but it is going to be the Butterfly Pavilion. So I'm the Halloween kid and I love the Spider Pavilion that comes in the fall. Here's what happens. The Butterfly Pavilion pretty much, it runs through the summer to August 24th. So it opens this Sunday, runs through August 24th. Then what butterflies may be around also stick around to become food for the Spider Pavilion, which opens in exactly the same place.
Golly.
So it's,
Circle of life.
Circle of life. But that's a great opportunity for you. It's $10 per person, GA admission. Come if you're a member of the National History Museum. Again, I'm trying to keep it super inexpensive to encourage you to get out.
That's
and also
a former school trip.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, and that's exactly it. Because I mean, I grew up in the Inland Empire. I was born in Upland and raised in Altaloma, and we used to come all the way out here. We did the San Bernardino County Museum and everything else as well, but we came all the way to Expo Park to do the museums that are here. And I mean, I was born in 81, and in 84 we had the Olympics.
Stop rubbing it in.
Right. No, it's easy. So anyway, so those are the fun things. And then the biggest thing that is coming up is going to be a little bit further out, and it's already underway. Actually, no, it starts off Friday. Checking my facts. There we go. Thursday. Got to keep it right. Fact check yourself. I love going out to the desert. And one of the things that's really impressive is being able to go to Living Desert, which is a zoo and botanic garden out in Palm Desert, or like Palm Springs. Uh-huh. And they have done this for a few years, and they kind of changes the time period, but it's glow in the park. So from the 20th through April 27th. So it opens this Thursday, runs through April. You can see these beautiful lanterns, like huge animal lanterns, different wildlife that are in and among the existing exhibits that are there. Now, granted, all the animals, the real animals, have gone to bed come this time period, although a lot of them are nocturnal. So you may hear sounds and you may see some movements, but you're not going to get a beautiful view of all those incredible animals that live out there. But this is something that people go year after year after year to go see, because while some lanterns stay the same, and we've got similar things that happen at like the Botanic Garden in Arcadia, also here at the LA Zoo, but this one is really special because you're out in nature. You're out in the middle of nowhere, and it really is different. It's a different experience, and it's still, if you're looking for those chilly experiences, it is real cold still out in the desert.
You give us such great information, and I'm amazed as an Angelino. Some of this I obviously did know, like the Grunion Run.
Right.
Some of it I did not know.
See, that's what I love, because there's so much that we don't do in our own backyard. And having you being born and raised, me being born and raised here in LA or in the Southland in the Inland Empire for me, there's so much we don't do. And I know I, like you and many people, don't want to necessarily do the touristy things. Granted, I go to Disneyland and Universal Studios and do all the theme parks.
You do a lot of touristy stuff.
I do a lot of touristy stuff. But the bigger and more exciting things for me are what's in our backyard.
Absolutely.
What can we do to support our local community? And also, as always, last call on free 99 is how we roll. So trying to make sure that it is being aware of your time, energy, and effort is what's being spent, and a little less on the pocketbook.
We'll have more with Nick Pagliochini in just a moment. Find out what else is up with Nick.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Nick Pagliochini. What's up with Nick is on to tell us all what you do. Nick Pagliochini. What's up with Nick is on with free 99 for you. Nick Pagliochini. What's up with Nick is on to give us fun things to do around SoCal. What's up with Nick is on with Mo Kelly and his crew. What?
Did he change that?
I was going to say, Eric Lizardo obviously sent us a new one, and Sam is confirming. Yes, I see a head
bobbing. Slipped it in there.
It got sent to me hot off the presses from Tawala himself.
I said, those are not the same lyrics.
No, I was impressed because I was like, it's fantastic. It's a rework, and it gives us a little bit more for a Tuesday night.
Thank you, Eric.
Eric Lasardo, you're amazing. We appreciate you greatly, and a huge fan and huge friend of KFI.
Absolutely.
So, always. Jumping right back into it, though, and again, getting into that free 99 and last call. If you are a Catholic, you may or may not know that tomorrow is St. Joseph's Day. So the 19th of March every year, St. Joseph's Day. Why do we care about that? If you're not Catholic, well, it is the day that the Swallows return to the church in San Juan Capistrano. Okay. Yeah, so Swallows Day is actually tomorrow. The reason I talk about it is because this weekend is the huge Swallows Day celebration that happens every year in San Juan Capistrano. And it's Las Golondrinas, if I remember correctly, is the name of Swallows. Fiesta de las Golondrinas, which is the party for the
party
Swallows.
For the birds.
Right, there you go. If you're not familiar, then I don't know what to tell you. If you have not grown up in Southern California, the event has always been closely tied to the 19th of March because of St. Joseph's Day, coincidentally. And it's been observed that way for centuries. But the modern celebration was popularized by Father St. John O'Sullivan in the 1920s. And according to legend, Father O'Sullivan invited the swallows to nest at Mission San Juan Capistrano after seeing a shopkeeper destroying their nest elsewhere in town.
Another childhood school trip.
Right? I was going to say. Yeah. So I'm hitting all the high marks.
Back.
The swallows migrate every year up from Argentina. They nest and raise their young in the eaves of the missions and surrounding area.
Where do they migrate from?
Argentina.
Where?
Argentina.
Argentina.
And then over time, the celebration has grown to include cultural events and festivities, including this weekend. So the Swallows Day Parade, I am not doing it this year because I've got a couple other things going on that I'll talk about. But in years past, I've actually emceed or I've been the announcer for the Swallows Day Parade in San Juan Capistrano. It's always a blast. If you're going to go, number one, free 99. We love that. But beyond that, it is making sure that you give yourself plenty of time. And that is because you get off at Ortega Highway on the 5. Now, this is going back to my traffic days. But there will be a good mile or two backup, both north and southbound on the 5 at Ortega Highway.
Really?
It's so popular. And I think it is because it's free 99, but it's also something that is so culturally relevant to South Orange County. It brings people from LA, it brings people from the Inland Empire, it brings people up from San Diego. So give yourself plenty of time to get it. The theme this year is lassos and lace, and the Budweiser Clydesdales will also be there. So they'll be, I don't know if they're the Grand Marshals per se. That's a whole different ballgame.
Here comes the king. Here comes the king.
Right.
Here comes the big number one. Budweiser beer. Are you old enough to?
I'm old enough to do it. Okay. Yes. No. I wasn't drinking back then, but yes.
You're drinking at 12.
No, but the thing that's funny, and just to tangent briefly, our generations had the most amazing jingles.
Absolutely.
There is nothing like that now. You've got fun, memeable things that are there. You've got so many fun different takes, but it's not to the level of the marketing that was around so many different corporations. And I mean, we just grew up with that. That was
the only way you could really reach people.
Correct.
Radio or TV. And if you had there had to be something that was going to stick in your ear.
Oh, here we go.
Here comes the king, here comes the big number one.
Budweiser beer.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to none. Just say Budweiser, you've said it all. Here comes the king of beer, so lift your glass, let's hear the call. Budweiser beer's the one that's leading the rest.
When you say Bud,
and Beechwood aging makes it beer at its best.
when you say Bud, one taste will tell you so loud and clear. There's only one Budweiser beer. There's only one Budweiser.
And it has stuck with me for at least 40 years.
Yeah, easily. No, that totally, and that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but then
That was a nice digression.
No, that was a good. I love it because I mean there was that, but like the funnier one that came to mind immediately was Roto-Rooter.
Roto-Rooter,
that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter. Yeah.
See? Yeah.
I was like, the best that you don't get to see, the thing that we get to experience here is seeing each other and seeing how everybody's reacting to those jingles and music.
You light up because it hits somewhere in our memory where, like, yes, I remember watching that.
Roto-Rooter is quick first aid for clogs, sewers, and stopped up drains. The wonderful Roto-Rooter machine twists and turns and shaves lines clean. Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Now play the Cheech and Chong version of that.
We haven't reached later with Mo Kelly After Dark quite yet for that.
No, we're there. We already talked about OnlyFans.
I know.
And,
I think you could almost get away with that one these days.
Probably. I was going to say.
But maybe don't risk it while I'm
cussing.
working.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I got you. One more thing to talk about real quick is César Chávez. Family Day is going to be this weekend. That is happening in the La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, the Plaza of Culture and Art. If you're not familiar with Olvera Street, that is where it is located. So Olvera Street is, yes, another field trip. Like I have covered Street. And I think that's the thing that's so interesting because one of my nieces, Emily, she's actually on, do you remember doing, it was either 4th or 5th grade and we would go to the mountains. Did you do that field trip?
No, we didn't go to the mountains.
Okay. So maybe
we went whale watching.
Oh, okay. So that's Haley and Ella, my nieces in San Clemente, do that because it's right out of Dana Point. And they've done that a couple of times. Emily, from my family in Long Beach, she is on her 4th or 5th grade. And I'm sure people are yelling at the radio right now, but 4th or 5th grade, you get to go to the mountains and you're there for a week. So it's like your very first co-ed. I understand.
We didn't know.
It's okay.
I missed out.
Yeah, I apologize. I was doing great.
Yeah, it's like we didn't have elaborate field trips like that. We didn't have any type of overnight field trip.
I remember having to raise money for it. We'll put that much. And I know that I had to donate some money for Emily to go. So
no, the furthest I think we went was San Juan Capistrano.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. But so that's that. So much else is going on around the Southland. Also, if you happen to, I caught me last week, I talked about the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles. They have their Rhinestone Cowboys show this weekend. I will be there. So if you are going, be sure to say what's up. Oh, Rhinestone Cowboy.
I used to love that song.
But it's so funny because there's so much more involved. There's like country covers of pop artists, and there's just so much that'll be happening for that. So if you want to check it out again, this weekend with Nick or Nick Pagliochini on Instagram, yes.
It's interesting. The first time I heard about the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles, they would always sing at the PBS Christmas Eve special,
Correct.
Which is downtown, I think, the Dorothy Chandler.
Yes.
And because my family would watch that every single year, and they were always the best choir every single year.
And it's funny because, so talking to Lou Spisto, who is the director of the program or the executive director, that's it. They've done the Grammys. They've done the Oscars.
Yes.
They've done all these different award shows. And the thing that, again, we talked about last week, but it's so interesting. It's not just gay men either.
No.
It is all Southern Californians who can carry a tune. As long as you can do tenor 1, tenor 2.
Say, you better be able to carry a tune.
Right.
There are expectations.
Well, not just that, but now you also have to be almost a triple threat because you have to at least be 2 of the 3 of being able to dance and sing because they do an entire production number of so many things. Just looking at it, it'll be Beyonce, Brandy Carlisle, Lil Nas X, Chappell Roan, also Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, Shania Twain, Casey Musgraves,
That's a
the
large
Chicks,
repertoire.
Lots of it. It's going to be happening again this weekend, both on Friday or Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and then I will be there on the Saturday show, the 22nd.
It's too bad I have to go to break because I could do this all night.
I'd love to, and I've got you. I have so much more to go through. But again, if you want to learn more, always. Social media, Instagram is the easiest. Nick Pagliochini or This Weekend with Nick. The link in bio has all the details for you.
I'll see you soon.
Oh, absolutely. You better believe it.
All right, then.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mr. Mo Kelly, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's hard to believe that Happy Gilmore came out almost 30 years ago in 1996. And it's a movie, if I were to watch it tonight, it probably would seem dated. It was a part of those 90s comedies, those Ben Stiller-esque comedies. They were just funny. Adam Sandler is doing now Happy Gilmore 2. It will be on Netflix. I think it's coming out like first week in July. And I probably am in the minority on this. Being a huge Happy Gilmore fan, I don't know if I really want to see Happy Gilmore 2. And the reason I say that, there is an expiration date for some of these movies. And some of these sequels, these legacy sequels where you may have 30 years in between, like a Maverick Top Gun 2, like a Coming to America 2, or even now you have a Happy Gilmore 2. part of the reason why those other examples probably worked better is you had most of the principal cast, like even Beverly Hills Cop 4, and they got it in right before Taggart died. That's my concern. And with Happy Gilmore 2, there are a lot of the funny moments that we cannot really relive in Happy Gilmore 1. And that makes me kind of sad and makes me not want to see Happy Gilmore 2. Yes, you'll get Julie Bowen, who's going to play Virginia again. I assume you'll probably have Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin, but you're not going to have Bob Barker. I don't think you're even going to have the jeering fan from the first one. I don't see him on the IMDb list. You're not going to have Richard Keel, who played Jaws in the James Bond movies. Obviously, you're not going to have Carl Weathers. Those are things that are kind of essential. You know, I would love to have some sort of, I don't know, throwback to Chubbs. That's not going to happen. Now, here is the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. It's more music than anything, but you get a sense of what it feels like.
Arnold, Jacko, Tiger, SpongeBob? What is that? What's with the beaver teeth? I haven't swung a club in years. I'm a little intimidated. All these guys hit it big now. I don't know where to start.
Come on, brother. Grip it and rip it.
I guess I need to update my happy place to something a little more age appropriate.
Montage of trying to get back in shape.
Mr. Gilmore? Holy shit.
We're not done with golf. Let them see the happy I fell in love with.
Yeah. Let's go.
We'll put a little extra into this one.
I am so sorry.
There will be Ben Stiller, who's going to be in it. Bad Bunny. Looking at, Shooter McGavin is going to be in Happy Gilmore 2. They'll have probably a cavalcade of professional golfers, real professional golfers making cameos. But, I don't know if there's going to be a Rob Schneider character and they're talking about, you can do it. Something
there has to be.
There has to be, but.
There has to be. This trailer gave me all the feels. Why?
What?
Because I remember the movie so fondly, and to see Happy Gilmore, the character, grow, to not be still a silly numbskull, but to have matured and coming back out and having to approach the game with the same finesse that made him who he was, but he's older now. Now he's got to even take it even more serious.
30 years older.
Yes. This, to me, the way that Adam Sandler is playing this, I like this Adam Sandler. I like older actors who are able to weave their being older into the storyline, not trying to act around it. Like, this isn't an Adam Sandler who's trying to dye his hair and look younger and CGI. No, he's like, look, I want to do this film again. I need to acknowledge that this character has grown older. This character is more mature. How can I do this story and still be funny Adam Sandler, but make it make sense for the Happy Gilmore fans?
The cameos have to be on hit.
Absolutely.
Some that we just don't see coming. Maybe blend some universes within the the Adam Sandler family of films.
Yeah. I can see it.
Nick Pagliochini, you didn't leave yet. What do you think?
It's so funny. So while I was listening to it, when we were all listening to it, that's the first time that I've actually watched the trailer, seen the trailer. There's a lot of cameos in this, and I love everything you guys have talked about, and I'm on the same page with you. But I don't want to give it away because I want people to check out the trailer. But there's some random people that are thrown in there outside of these really cool throwbacks or cameos, because the same concept with you guys have described, I would love to see some of these more modern comedians or whatever is like the children or the whatever related to some of the characters from the first one. So maybe while the family, we don't
Son
have
of Chubbs.
Right, exactly. And I kind of have an idea. I have an idea of who would be good in the cast that might do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've got some really odd choices. Like certain people from the music industry that are showing up in certain roles, and certain people from professional sports that are not golf that are showing up in certain roles.
I won't give it away.
Right. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm being very specific of not naming names, but while I'm watching it and feel all the feels, just like T said, I'm also watching and going, why are you in this? Why are you here? Like, this isn't an SNL skit after skit after skit. I want just what it is. I want to see where they are. And they, like you referenced, it's the best thing, T. I want to see where it is this many years later. I don't need to do a rehash, and I don't need to have all the great memeable moments. Sorry.
No, I mean, I don't know what to say because I'm less enthusiastic than the rest of you, and that's only because I hold the original in such high esteem.
I get it.
That's all. You know,
I came in enthusiastic, but after seeing the trailer, I lost enthusiasm because certain movies, they hold a certain place and should kind of be held in isolation. You don't necessarily need to have any continuance on it. And I feel like this might just be like either paying off on one of those movies he has to do for Netflix or a cash grab.
Look, I am all about nostalgia. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm all about nostalgia, and I love me some Adam Sandler. I'm just saying what we're being shown, I might pass. It's free. You already got the subscription.
Should we
what
have
are you
a
talking
later
about?
with Mo Kelly viewing party? Because that would be great for What's Up with Nick.
But see, the problem is Mark won't come to my house. He's afraid to go into a black neighborhood.
Well, not for that movie, I'm not. I mean, listen, having grown up next to a golf course, at least Adam Sandler's now at the age where people get away from their families and go play golf. That's what that's for. Okay?
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And for my final thought this evening, I wanted to talk about the Democrats. And the general storyline of late is that the Democrats have hit their lowest level of popularity in a generation or ever, or something like that. Most of the stories are somewhere along those lines. Everybody hates Democrats. And if you ever listen to this show for any length of time, you would know I don't do polls or approval ratings. To me, they're a little different than asking someone if they're hungry or if they're ready to go to the gym or something. Polls don't tell you much, and they all change with time or the weather. But the Democrats as a party have been going through some things. I wouldn't call it puberty, but they've been going through some things. Voters have been voicing their displeasure with the DNC, its new leadership, and old leadership for that matter. Democrats inside the party have voiced their displeasure with the lack of strategy to respond to the Trump administration. And there are some high-profile members who have either left the party or called for House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries to step up and meet the moment, and for Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to step down and call it a day. The latter, who is out on an almost canceled book tour, that's the only way I can describe it, which is now some sort of explanation tour, trying to tell his side of the story as to why he decided to go along with Republicans and vote for the continuing resolution to keep the government open. Today, he was a guest on The View, and this was his explanation.
Great. What were you thinking and why? Okay. So, look, I knew it was a difficult choice, and I knew that I'd get a lot of criticism for my choice. But I felt as a leader I had to do it. Here's why. The CR bill was bad, no question. And it allowed a slush fund, which allowed money to be pushed around.
Explain it for the people who don't know what
There's
CR means.
CR means continue the government spending.
Right.
A shutdown, the alternative is cut off the government spending. And here's what would happen if we cut off government spending. It would be devastation like we have never seen.
Worse than we're seeing now?
Much. Here's why. That's why I did it. I wasn't going to take this flack just for having a lot of fun. The bottom line is a government shutdown works like this. All government spending is stopped. All. And then the executive branch, Trump, Musk, Doge, and this really evil man people don't know about, Vote, who's head of OMB. His name is Vote. And they could cut off anything they want simply by saying it's not essential. So, day 2, SNAP, food for poor kids, not essential. Day 4, mass transit, New York City subway and subways all over, not essential. Day 7, Medicaid, not essential. People don't need Medicaid. They should get their own health care. And this would happen over and over and over again, and there's no check.
In his explanation and reasoning is why the Democrats are rightly seen as dysfunctional. Whereas what Schumer said was factually accurate as to what happens during a shutdown, it's also a fact that nobody else in the damn party knew that that was going to be his play. The House stood in solidarity, obviously thinking that the Senate and Democratic caucus as a whole were in agreement. They weren't. Schumer's decision caught most of the party by surprise. Also, the nature of the shutdown is not new. Everyone should have known that's what's going to happen. Schumer acted like he had some last moment epiphany. He was not in possession of some secret knowledge. It was one of the few moments in which the Democrats could have demonstrated a united front and also forced Republicans to the table. But instead, the Democrats got nothing except clowned, and the Republicans got everything they wanted. With zero opposition, zero downside, publicly embarrassing Hakeem Jeffries and the party as a whole. A win-win-win-win-win. And although I don't personally care about polls, they do highlight how poorly the party handles its own messaging, creates a viable strategy, or connects with voters in a contemporary sense. They're not winning anybody over, not even Democrats. But here's something that the Republicans have mastered and the Democrats haven't even started practicing. The Republicans play to win, no matter the cost. Mitch McConnell didn't care that there was no constitutional precedent to hold up the Merrick Garland SCOTUS nomination because it was supposedly an election year. He did it because it was important to his party. He didn't mind seeming hypocritical by rushing through the Amy Coney Barrett SCOTUS nomination a week before a presidential election in the very next cycle. Why? Because it was important to the party, and the fruits of those labors are continuing to shape America at this very moment. Republicans play the long game. Democrats have no long-range plan or strategy. Republicans play to win. Democrats play by the rules, or what they think are the rules. That's why Donald Trump can say, I don't care what the judges say, close quote, openly defy lawful rulings, and there be neither consequences nor a democratic response. But despite all that, here's what I believe the media has missed in the assessment of the Democratic Party, which is not to be confused with the Democrat Party, which doesn't exist. It's March of 2025. There are no elections to win or lose on the immediate horizon. You don't select a prom queen during the third week of school. Some of the hand-wringing is definitely overblown. That's another lesson the Dems could learn from the Republicans. Stop panicking. More than a year and a half before you have to worry about losing another election. I mean, you probably will, but at least you have time to prepare. Use it wisely. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
There's a lot of misinformation out there, and none of it is allowed here.
KFI
and KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live